I want to start off and talk about is the gold. Okay, now, this is where intuition and experience comes through. Is that if you look at yesterday's gold move, and I think the best way to illustrate this is actually to get a 30-minute chart up. Okay, so going into the yesterday's gold session, obviously we had an inside day, we had an inside week in gold, and we had a market that was really contracting in terms of price. So the pressure was building up for a move, and we got that move. Okay, we got the snap higher. Now, what was very interesting was if you go compare the snap higher yesterday, an inside week and inside day with a lot of volatility, if you go compare that to what I would sort of call a usual breakout of this sort of an area, it looks very different on the charts yesterday. And what we mean by that is, if you look at the daily, the actual volume transacted, that was the highest volume in gold pretty much all year. Okay, yet what was the price response? Okay, and that's the big question mark. We did all this volume yesterday, yet the price response was $4. Okay, so massive breakout, inside week break, yet we did only a $4 move to the upside. Now, to illustrate what this looks like, it's actually better to get up the footprint. Okay, because what's happened in the gold yesterday, which is fantastic to observe, if we notice the first time we went up, okay, all this volume transacted, and notice what price did, it barely moved. Okay, so what that's telling us is on the break, we got the break, we got people getting out of their shorts, but someone sat on the other side absorbing all of that volume, all of that transactional work. Okay, now that's massive because that means someone has taken a really big position in the market just above the break point yesterday. Okay, so what that leads me to believe is, firstly, we're going to put a big fat blue line on yesterday's high. Okay, because if we take that out, right, there is a potential for a very aggressive move to the upside. Why? Because that position is now needed to unwind, or maybe that position or that seller is no longer there. Okay, so if we do recapture yesterday's high, I'd expect gold to very aggressively trend towards the upside. However, to the downside, and this is again where the footprint is a fantastic tool, note how the delta on the day finished down. Okay, so inside day break, inside week break, we closed above the previous day's high, and yet the delta finished down on the day with someone sitting with a potentially very aggressive short position. Okay, so that was something very interesting to observe in the gold, yesterday. And what it makes me believe is that this gold now has become a very good two-way market. Okay, if we take out yesterday's highs, we expect a very strong trend to the upside. If we take out that swing point around 96.2 yesterday, gold could have a very strong offer to the downside. Okay, keep an eye on this gold now. That volume surge yesterday, it sticks out like an absolute sore thumb. It should definitely not be discounted. It's a very important observation in the gold. Okay, as for the profiling of the gold, okay, we can see obviously there's that break point. Okay, so this is obviously a weekly profile. We can see the inside week. We broke up yesterday, barely extended, took out obviously 2 week highs. That week high. Yet the market settled back inside. So again, I don't want to call it a failed inside week break because the week is still 4 days to go. But what I do want to say is, again, very unusual. If we look at the dailies, it's very unusual for an inside, day break to have a relatively weak close. Okay, typically inside day breaks, with this sort of pre-context, you would have quite a strong close. Keep an eye on that. Gold's very interesting going into the course of today. What I would say, obviously, some interesting overnight levels. Do keep an eye on that overnight high. A bit of a double top, doesn't look too pretty. Obviously to the downside, we have got yesterday's double bottom of the low, as well as a nice little tail left there on Friday. So gold, like I said, fantastic opportunity both ways, to the upside or to the downside. Again, what I would reiterate is the good moves, the decent moves, the follow-through moves in the gold are coming once the US session comes in online. Okay, so just factor that into your analysis. Gold is really starting to move and show volatility only in the US sessions at the moment.